You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
A real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It is time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We've got topics in sports, entertainment, and odd news to get to in this episode. So make sure you keep the podcast going straight on because we've got plenty to talk about in those areas. But before we get to all of that, I'm going to also just tease, too. This is also going to be a little bit of a visual episode. Mikey went crazy with Microsoft Excel, so we've got graphs coming at you.
I try.
Yes.
What can I say?
Get ready, folks. We're going to have some interesting banter and visual aids in sports, entertainment, and odd news to get to. But before we get to all of the content at hand, Mikey, my friend, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. I finally finished Cobra Kai.
Yes! Finally.
It's been a long time coming. I had to wait for them to finish releasing all of Season 6.
Yeah, you didn't want to do
in
piecemeal.
Yeah, they did it in 3 different parts. I didn't want to get started and then have to wait a couple months for the next set of 5 episodes, whatever it was.
Yeah, because it was... They split up the last season into 3 5-episode segments.
It was like a year and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they
were
spread it across. It was.
They knew it was the end, so they
Right.
really were trying to spread it out.
They tried to drag it out.
Yeah.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the hype. I thought it was fantastic. I got everybody watching it by the end. Even Jordan bought it.
Yeah.
My mom bought it. And everybody. Because it's like we've always said on the podcast. It's not going to win any awards, but there's something about the vibe of the show where it just wears the insanity on its sleeve. Like, it knows that it doesn't make a lick of sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is totally absurd, and there's an element of self-awareness to it.
Yes.
This, like, it's...
Why is karate so damn important to this town?
Right, exactly.
The Valley.
It's like this crazy phenomenon. Everybody and their mother knows karate in this stupid town. It's so funny. But I still...
Football? What's football? No, we do karate here.
Football, that's boring stuff. It's all about the karate.
Yes.
No, it's fantastic. And you know, just to go back to what you always say about them doing the Grey Jedi storyline better than Star Wars did it, you know, they did. They handled that type of subject matter really, really well about trying to find that balance, Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Between the aggression and the defensiveness of it, of, you know, can a bad guy become good? How does a good guy become bad? These kind of, you know, it challenges you to think about that blurry line between the two sides and find that balance. And Star Wars completely whiffed on that topic.
Yep, they could have done it.
It was right there. They lay it out so perfectly. Like, almost every character in that show, at one point, heel turns and then heel turns back. It's
wrestling.
It's ridiculous. It is. It's wrestling.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed every single second of it. And, you know, I was not disappointed at the absurdity of the final season.
Yes.
Just, I don't want to get into anything because of spoilers, but, you know, if you thought that the samurai sword fight at the end of season 5 was absurd, it takes it to a whole new level. It's just absolutely bonkers.
Every season gets more and more ridiculous, and it's great.
I could not believe, at one point I was summarizing, because I had just, you know, I was just moving forward with watching it, and Jordan would come in and out of certain episodes. She didn't watch the whole season all the way through. So I was summarizing 2 episodes for her, and I was trying to hit all the major plot points. I was like, and then this guy did this, but meanwhile this person's doing this, and then this person betrayed that person, but that person was secretly betraying that person, and then this person did, and then this person died, and then they came back to life, and it was like I was reciting like a description of like a wrestling soap opera. It was so
that's
insane.
what makes it great.
And then I get the end of my description. I was like, and that was 40 minutes of television.
It probably would have been quicker to just show her the episodes.
It probably would have been.
The episodes are just 30 minutes long.
They're short episodes, but man, yeah, it's a fantastic show. Go back and watch the whole thing if you haven't. It's if you like that like cheesy 80s like vibe, it's perfect.
Oh yeah, and I definitely do. That's one of my comfort TV shows, but unfortunately, it is officially now ended.
Yeah, but it will live on.
Yeah,
in our hearts and minds.
Well,
and there's also a movie coming out.
They're going to do a spin-off movie off of the Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
Right, but Daniel LaRusso's in it.
Right, they're somehow going to tie him into it, so that'll be interesting to see.
Do you think Cobra Kai will
No.
somehow? No?
No, I think that Johnny's story's over.
Okay.
The Cobra Kai series is Johnny.
Right.
Daniel's not supposed to be the main character in that story.
Yes.
But with the movies, he might be. So with that, I think they'll leave Johnny Lawrence alone.
I mean, they're doing the new movie in New York, so it'd be kind of hard to find a way to get both of them from L.A. to New York.
Yeah.
It's already a stretch getting one of them from L.A. to New York.
Right. Why would
come
Johnny,
to New York to train karate? Okay, I'll just drop my whole life.
Yeah.
Go literally across the country, but
yeah, no, I think Johnny's story's done. I think he's good.
Yeah, but fantastic show, loved it.
Yes.
And I did want to bring up one thing. You said you've been on a docu kick recently.
Yes.
Did you watch Golden Greed: The Hunt for Fenn's Treasure?
No, I wanted to. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
because I watched that, and BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yes.
You remember they went looking for the treasure.
Yeah.
Oh man, the real life story is even crazier. So I won't say anything because you want to watch it, but you definitely do have to watch that.
Yeah, I know somebody found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was ridiculous to see.
Yeah. So go check that out.
All right.
But have you been continuing your docu-kick, or what else have you been up to?
Yeah, actually, no. I think we ended the docu-kick.
The docu-kick is over?
Yeah, I think that was our the tornado one that I mentioned last week was the last documentary we watched together. Because I mean we've been doing now more Dropout shows.
Okay.
So I mean Dropout is a great streaming channel for me and Rachel. It's great. It's got improv. It's got
you showed me a few
shows.
A few of their shows. They're really good.
It's got a cooking show that I love. Yes. So yeah, that's been our kind of that's like a good go-to as well for us to watch.
Yeah.
When you're not sure what you want to watch.
They're good laid-back shows that don't require a lot of investment. You know, it seems like you just like pick up any episode and just kind of like enjoy a one-off instead of getting embroiled in a whole series.
Right. We're done the docu-kick. I mean, in terms of things, we're watching a lot of March Madness, which we'll get to in just a minute. But also want to give a shout out to Phoenixville's own Fun Dungeon. They celebrated 1 year. It was their 1 year anniversary this weekend.
Very nice.
So we went to Fun Dungeon, which is like an adult arcade place in Phoenixville. It's like Barcade, but I think it's better because you go to Fun Dungeon and you pay a $15 cover charge and you're good to go. All the machines are set to free play.
That's nice.
And you just get to just wreak havoc. You can play anything you want, pinball, classic arcades, pool. They have some consoles too, so you can play like Mario Kart if that is something you want to play. They've got Mortal Kombat. They've got the classics.
Nice.
And it's just great. It's it's so much better than fumbling about with quarters and worrying about how much money you're spending.
And for $15, that is a really good. That's like a bargain almost.
Yeah. And then if you want an alcoholic beverage, there's a bar right there. You can go up and get a drink of your choice.
And that's where they make the real money.
Probably. Just want to give them a shout out. It is their 1-year anniversary, so we are happy to have them in town in Phoenixville. So congratulations to Fun Dungeon. It was great to see. It's great to see them do so well, and it was great to be there with them on Saturday for their 1-year anniversary party. So.
Nice. Hopefully, many more years.
Yeah, right. They're just an institution right now in the Phoenixville community. So if you're around that area, make sure you go see Fun Dungeon. It's a great little spot there. Play all the arcade games that your heart can handle. All right, but with that in mind, we do have a lot of topics to get to this week. So let's jump right into them. And the first batch of topics we have revolve around sports in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
That's right. Sports coming at you in your face. Before we get to news that Mike definitely wants to talk about, I want to make sure we cover this right off the bat. March Madness. We have the Final Four. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Because for the first time since 2008, all of the number 1 seeds are the Final Four teams. A little disappointing. You always kind of want to have like an underdog. You want to have somebody that battles the odds and makes it through.
That's what it's all about, right? The Cinderella story.
Yeah, but unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for the competition or for the tournament committee, it does show that they labeled this one right. The 4 teams that they picked as the true number 1 seeds, they were indeed the true number 1 seeds. They were the best 4 teams.
It's crazy. It's almost like everybody should be excited because these are hypothetically the 4 best teams in all of college basketball. But I think that it's actually the reverse is true. Is people love to see the upsets. It's almost
you just want to have one.
Yeah.
You want to have just one of them make it, and then you root for them in the Final Four.
Right.
Yeah. The fact that they're all number 1 seeds, you're like, all right.
I'll tell you what. Anybody that was super boring with their brackets, though.
Yeah, they won.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, if you were chalky, yeah, you did it.
It's not that bad of a strategy, though, right?
Well,
because the number ones usually go.
Usually, but as I said, this is the first time since 2008 that all 4 number 1 seeds made it. So it doesn't happen that often. There's usually an upset somewhere along the line.
But I would say, now, of course, I don't really keep track of it or have any memory of it, but I feel like more often than not, at least 1 or 2 number 1 seeds make it all the way.
To the Final Four?
To the Final Four,
do you mean the national championship game?
To the Final Four, at least.
To the Final Four, yeah, I think you're right on that.
So I don't know how the scoring works for a bracket, but I mean, if you get 2 branches all the way to the Final Four, that's pretty good.
I mean,
right?
you're usually in a good spot, depending on how well other people did in your betting bracket.
I'm going to start doing brackets, and I'm just going to pick the number 1 seed straight through every single time.
Boo! That's lame. No, it's called March Madness.
What about like March Simplicity?
No,
that's what this is.
BS. No, it's supposed to be fun. What are you doing?
Oh, no! We suck again!
Yeah, it's boring. Come on, live a little.
You say it's boring. There's a lot of people out there probably super excited to see just the very best instead of some nobody 16 seed.
Hey,
no, I kid.
Hey, that has happened. There has been a few 16 seeds that have won in the first round. You never know.
I would love to see a 16 seed just go super. I know it's happened rarely, but it has happened where they go super deep.
Well, maybe not a 16 seed, but definitely like a 10 seed or like a double-digit seed. Yeah, there's been runs. Yeah, it can happen.
I'm going to look it up. 16 seed in Final Four. I want to see when the last time it's happened. 15 is the lowest seed to make the men's Sweet 16.
So that's two games.
Yeah.
But in terms of the 16 seed upsetting the number 1 seed, I think
so. 11 is the lowest seed to make the Final Four.
Yeah. There you
15 is the lowest seed to make the Elite 8, and 8 is the lowest seed to win, and that's
Nova.
Nova in 1985. Yep.
Woo! Sorry, Mike. Nova just took over both of your schools.
They did.
Sorry, Mike.
I mean, it's just wild. Anyway.
It's all right.
And I have 0 Villanova degrees to show for it. I don't know what's up with that.
No, you should say now I'm from Villanova North and Villanova East.
I just took the most circuitous route to get there.
You're right.
I could have just gone straight to Villanova. Psh, but that's the easy way.
Right.
I did it the really complicated and convoluted way.
You did it the March Madness way.
That's right. I was the 16 seed,
Yeah.
and I've been eliminated in the Elite 8.
Yes. Twice. Somehow eliminated twice.
If anybody out there needs a school that needs to go out of business, just contact me.
Yeah.
'Cause
Mike.
I am 4 for 4.
Yeah. Was it Cabrini and Rosemont?
Cabrini, Rosemont, but our high school
And high school.
and
yeah.
my grade school.
Oh, and great boy. Yeah.
I am 4 for 4. Don't test me. I will put a school out of business.
Oh, good for you.
But anyway,
Yes. So there you go. College basketball into the Final Four, and we'll keep an eye on those last 3 games. That's it. It's only 3 games now. 2 on Saturday, and then the national championship game on Monday.
can't come soon enough.
Jeez, Mike.
I'm just messing.
Man. Really?
I've watched 0 March Madness.
Have you watched anything else besides football?
No.
Yeah. What the
No.
hell? Come on, Mike.
I occasionally watch baseball if the Phillies are in the playoffs, but that's the only. And the Olympics. Football and the Olympics are my two favorite.
Wait, all right. Who's weirder? Is it Mike with just
No.
football in the Olympics, or me and golf?
Definitely you in golf.
Why? Golf
Because
is
the
awesome.
Olympics are a worldwide global phenomenon that happens only once every 4 years.
And golf is a very relaxing and funny event where people dress up in silly outfits and hit a small
Silly
ball.
outfits. What outfits? They're wearing slacks and a polo.
I mean, depends on who it. John Daly used to wear something crazy, but there's sure there are other people on tour that do.
Are there rules for?
I mean, it's got to be
attire?
long pants, unfortunately. Which
Really?
Yeah.
They golf in the summer though.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What's
I
up
like
with that?
shorts. Give me my shorts.
Can you get away with like linen pants, like the island like linen?
I don't know.
Does it have to
I'd
be
have
like
to
a
look it up.
pair of like slacks?
I'd have to
or-
look it up. I don't know at that point, but I know it has to be long pants for the PGA Tour. They don't do shorts.
That's-
That would not. I need shorts. I sweat too much,
I'm gonna try to compete in golf in like basketball shorts.
and you'll get kicked off the course.
They can try.
Anyway, that'll be in a couple weeks with the Masters. Actually, 2 weeks. Masters is coming right around the bend. You better get ready, Mike.
I'll get ready like I do every year by not paying attention to it until you tell me what happens.
Thanks.
Why watch it when you can just have Rich text you updates?
Yes.
That's the best news feed. Everyone's like Twitter, Blue Sky, Reddit. No. Rich.
Yes.
Just get yourself a Rich in your life to just send you updates. It's the best social media. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's who won. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't got to check any other website.
And I'll tell you the drama, too. I'll tell you what the,
Yes.
the wacky
you
drama
always
is.
do. Because you know what I like. You're like, if I just tell him somebody got a birdie, he doesn't care. But if you're like, oh, somebody hit like a mole hill and the mole stole the ball and
Yeah.
ran it to the next hole, I am there. I'm invested.
Or Brooks Koepka rolled his eyes over when Bryson DeChambeau walked through his shot.
You got to love it.
That is still one of the best moments ever.
They're so catty. It's so much fun.
You can tell Brooks Koepka has had enough of DeChambeau. He's just like, get that MFer out of here.
Have they paired them up yet?
I think at some point they have, yeah.
Okay. They should force them to golf together all the time.
No, they should force them to golf together during a major tournament where they're both in it. Really crank up the pressure.
Yeah.
And then have them explode at each other.
Absolutely.
With a major championship on the line, you would get some sparks, I'm sure.
Has a golfer ever hit another golfer with their club?
I don't believe so. I think that would definitely violate PGA
Well,
rules.
PGA, never say never.
Right. Especially
I'm just saying.
Especially with like Bryson DeChambeau, he always kind of strikes me as like a dumb Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like,
Look, you could
he's a big, like
Listen.
beefy guy. Like, I could see.
listen. You
Not enough.
you fan the flames a little bit. You have one of them be like far out of the position to actually win. They're just playing for what? For
Money?
For money, or just for a moral victory. they can go Tanya Harding on one of them. You know,
Yeah,
just
could
like
happen.
run up and just bam right in the kneecap.
All right. Well, we're not going to encourage violence, but for Mikey's sake, it would increase his his desire to watch golf. So make a note of that, PGA.
Mark it down.
All
Bring it before your competition committee where they vote on rules, just like the NFL recently voted on rules during their owners' meetings this past week.
It's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football.
How'd you like that struggle of a transition?
There you go. Football time. Mikey's happy now.
It is football time. There's just a few key updates to get to. Like I mentioned, they had the owners' meetings where they've been voting on rules changes brought forward by the competition committee. We covered all the different rules last week and the odds of them being passed or tabled. And we have the official updates for all the big new rules for the 2025 NFL season.
Yep. And you know Mikey's excited because he made graphs.
I
charts.
did. It was a slower day, and I took advantage of that by building some tables and graphs to show all the different rules changes. So let's go over the rules for the NFL.
Get that video feed up.
Get
Here
the
we
video
go.
feed up. Look at the majesty of. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Look at that. It's color coded and everything.
Damn, Mike, how much time you had today?
It's too much. So in the first portion, we got there. We have all the rules that were passed. These are the official rules that will be taking effect in the next NFL regular season. The Eagles' suggested rule of both teams getting a possession in overtime during the regular season, that was passed. Both teams are now guaranteed a possession. The quarter length remains the same, though, so they're not moving up to 15 minutes. It stays 10 minutes in the regular season. So I like this rule.
I don't know, though, because you can still run out a 10-minute clock.
But that's more strategic than having an oopsie, they scored a touchdown real quick, game is over. You know what I mean? I would rather see a team methodically drive for 10 minutes. That shows patience, talent, and strategy, rather than chucking one up, and scoring a touchdown, and then that's it. You just walk off touchdown. I don't want walk off touchdowns. I want the other team to at least get a chance to either stop them or get the ball back on offense and do something. So I like this rule change. A rule change that I'm kind of split on is the new kickoff rule. Kickoff touchbacks now start at the 35-yard line. This is, again, in an effort to promote more kick returns. Rich, what do you think of moving the touchback up even further? Should kickers just kick it out of bounds every time? It's almost the same thing.
It's ridiculous that they had to move the start line this far up, and for a fact there's still going to be coaches that are still going to tell the kicker kick it in for a touchback.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin probably.
Yeah.
We've been over it last week. I think it's really frustrating that coaches refuse to engage with this rule. The rule states that if the ball is fielded within the landing zone, and there's a fair catch there, the ball only moves to, I think it's the 20 or the 25.
Yeah.
If the ball goes into the end zone, it gets moved up to the 35 now. So you're potentially missing out on 10 to 15 yards. You're just giving the team an extra 10 to 15 yards. We saw it used to great effect occasionally throughout last season where teams would kick it high and short, force the kicking team to return it, the returning team to actually return it, and they would oftentimes get stopped between the 15 and the 20. Fantastic field position for the defense. I don't know why more teams aren't using this rule to the fullest, and hopefully this will inspire more coaches to actually take special teams seriously.
Yeah,
because
it's a 15-yard difference now.
It is. That's a lot of yards.
Yeah.
If a team picked up 15 yards in one play against the Eagles, you'd be mildly upset, right?
There's a big difference between starting a drive at the 20 versus starting a drive at the 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next rule, there are new replay assists being put in place. Now we can get replay assist with hits on defenseless players, grabbing the face mask, performing a horse collar tackle, tripping, and running into or roughing the kicker, all of those can be challenged and reviewed. However, only if the play was flagged by officials. That means you cannot challenge a no call. You can't say, hey, there should have been a face mask. You can't challenge that. You can only challenge if the face mask was grabbed and a flag was thrown. You can say, hey, wait, he didn't grab the face mask. He actually grabbed the shirt near the face mask or something like that. What do you think of this rule? Is this risking pace of play with something like this?
No, and I'll say it's a start, but I think you should be allowed to challenge almost anything. There's a reason why you only have 2 challenges.
I think that really is the secret. That's the defense against people who say it's going to ruin the pace of play.
Yeah, like, no. They only have 2 challenges, and coaches don't want to lose their timeouts. A timeout is a huge tactical advantage at the end of each half.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand this logic that naysayers have of this, that they're like, oh, they're going to challenge every play. No. Coaches aren't going to challenge every play.
I mean, really put yourself in a coach's shoes. It's first quarter. There is or isn't a face mask. Do you throw the flag to save those 15 yards that early in a half? And then if it doesn't go your way, you lose your timeout. You lose the challenge.
Yeah.
So
and then if you get another one wrong, then you can't challenge at all.
What I'm saving challenges for, I'm saving a challenge for a fumble. And you don't know whether the knee was down or whether the ball got punched out. That is something you challenge.
Yeah.
Change of possession type plays. Possessions where, a turnover is at risk. Not a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a waste of the only penalty that I would challenge would be defensive pass interference, because that can be devastating.
Yeah.
Spot foul.
Spot foul.
You're talking 30, 40 yards potentially. But, these penalties are, 10, 15 yarders? I'm not going to challenge for maybe not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that is vital to the game flow.
If your last 2 minutes of the game, and they're driving, sure, then
that's already no coach's call.
Well, yeah, okay, so 3 minutes left in the game.
See, this is what I don't understand. I don't understand why there's so many, like, oh, but what ifs? It's like, no, there's things that
the
are
mechanisms
built
are
into
already,
the game.
Yeah, they're already in place.
Yeah, so just let the coaches challenge whatever they want, and if they are dumb enough to burn their challenges, well, then there you go. They only have 2, and that's it. Then they don't challenge the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I don't understand this argument that they're going to challenge every play of the game and it's going to ruin the pace of play.
No, because even if they get both of them right, they only get 3 maximum.
Yeah.
They don't. It's not like they have an infinite number of challenges. It's not going to be every play. I challenge holding. I challenge false start.
Yeah, like
like that. It's not.
Yeah, like what? You think there's going to be like an army of flags?
They're just double fisting challenge flags and just whipping them out. No, it's not.
No,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So that bothers me. That argument.
One thing that coaches will not have to worry about challenging potentially anymore are first downs, because the NFL is set to introduce a camera system for measuring first downs. The chain gang is gone for routine run-of-the-mill down and distance. Instead, they will be employing 6 8K cameras to track the ball for measuring on down situations. It takes about 30 seconds to measure, and they say that this saves 40 seconds over the old process. I didn't realize they were timing things like this.
Yeah.
So there you go. That saves the pace of play from the
there
previous
you
one.
go.
There you go. They made it up with the camera system.
For all you people that think it's going to take forever to challenge, there you go. Save time there.
But, Rich, do we risk sounding potentially like baseball purists? What do you think about this rule about removing the influence of the chain gang and going to a full camera digital tracking system for first downs?
Yeah. So many jobs lost in this current economy.
But, I mean, really, part of me is like, oh, I want the chain gang. I like the chain gang. However, it runs counter to the thing that I hate most about baseball, is that baseball purists don't want to implement things like a virtual strike box, and a strike zone. You know what I mean? So part of me feels like I have to support this simply because
you don't want to be baseball purists.
I don't want to be baseball purist. What's your thinking here? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
I mean, I thought they were going to keep the chain gang on as a backup.
They have him as a backup.
I like that. There you go. Keep him on as backup.
But why would you ever need them if they have this fancy schmancy camera system?
You don't want to fire them. This is a very difficult economy we're in.
Pure and simple. Don't want to fire them.
Yeah, they're nice guys.
There you go. Keep the chain gang.
Yeah.
Hashtag chain gang forever. And finally, the last of the past rules, legal tampering has been expanded. Teams are now allowed to directly contact players. Before, the teams had to contact the agents, and the agents would speak on behalf of the players. Now, teams can schedule calls and meetings with the players themselves. This seems like a natural progression. We all know what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Are you telling me some GM isn't sliding into a big player's DMs and like, hey, you know, hit me up, come play for the Bengals or whatever?
Hit me up.
Like it's happening, right? They just are not public about it. So this just makes it public. It puts it out in the open.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are all the past rules. Let's talk about the one rule that was shot down. They did not pass the petition from the Lions to remove the automatic first down for defensive holding and illegal contact. That seemed like... God, that scared me.
That's what they said to the Lions.
That's what they said.
You ain't doing that. Come on.
That was the most absurd rule. The Lions are like, hey, we definitely shouldn't have this penalty, and it just so happens that we were flagged for it the most. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to be that blatant about it?
Yeah, come on.
So that was the one rule that did not pass. Now let's get to the more interesting section here, tabled for future meetings. These were the rules that were not voted on. One of them was the Lions' other proposal for playoff reseeding. This one seemed like it would get support, but we talked last week about how owners love the title of division winner.
Yeah.
And they don't want to risk that seeding. So while the strategy to reseed playoff teams based on record is better for fans and better for teams, it's hypothetically worse for owners. And so that's why we're hypothesizing it did not get voted on.
No, but I'm interested that it's tabled. I thought they would shoot it down right off the bat.
Right. Tabling it means that it's still open for discussion at future owners meetings. I think there's another one in May.
Yeah.
So it could come back, but right now it is tabled. Another one that's tabled, onside kick modifications. They're experimenting with rules around onside kicking, so they just said it's too complicated. Let's talk about it later. But the big one that we got to get to, of course, is the tush push / brotherly shove. This was tabled for future meetings. There was no vote on it. From what it sounds like, there is growing support to ban the tush push, but not enough teams to actually pass it. Now, they didn't actually vote on it, but the reports indicate that 16 would have voted yes. You need 24 to pass a rule, so only 16 out of the 24 needed. There's 8 owners out there who have not committed, or rather 16 that have not committed. So it's evenly split, 16 and 16. Tabling it, like I said, leaves it open to review in the future. It also leaves it open for the possibility of the Packers tweaking the language of the rule. A lot of owners thought that it was too vague, that it opened up loopholes that could be abused in other ways. Ultimately, those supporters say that this is not a win for the play, that this is, it's kind of like either a stalemate or a negative for it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that there's this much support. I can't believe it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's a logical play.
Yeah, none of the arguments against it make any sense. They say player safety. There's no injury reports. There's no injury statistics for the play.
Yeah.
Players just are not getting injured. One, because no team really runs it. And two, the team that does run it, the Philadelphia Eagles, is running it with a franchise quarterback, an old, often injured right tackle, and last year we were running it with, 1 foot in the grave, Jason Kelsey, and we didn't have any injuries.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The player safety thing doesn't make sense. The other thing that they say is that it affects pace of play. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. When you have someone, some idiot that keeps going offsides 4 times in a row.
That affects pace of play.
Yeah.
Can we ban that? Can
Right.
we ban going over the top?
Yeah. Isn't that the fault of the other team, not the Eagles?
It doesn't make sense that it affects pace of play because they line up, they snap the ball, they push forward. It's just a regular football play.
Yeah.
What I could say Lamar Jackson scrambling is a problem for pace of play. He spends too much time in the backfield.
How about Kyler Murray with that ridiculous 40-second play where he's running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth?
That affects pace of play.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Harry would throw the damn ball. We're going to put a shot clock
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, put a shot clock. I want a pass clock. There you go. You have to get rid of the ball in 30 seconds. How do you like that?
I completely dismiss out of hand the injury aspect and the pace of play aspect.
I like that.
Shot clock.
We have to do a pass clock.
Pass clock.
Kyler Murray can't keep running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
You get, just like in backyard, when you're playing in the backyard, 7 seconds.
7 Mississippi.
7 Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh, was there anything more stressful than 7 Mississippi? 7 Mississippi, that's what you get.
Yeah.
So injury, pace of play, both those arguments, I think non-starters. The other one that I hear that's really frustrating is that it's not a quote-unquote elegant or strategic play.
Oh, God, I hate that. Yeah.
That is such
It's football.
self-gratifying
tight ends.
circle jerk kind of like it's not what
This game is tight ends and slapping people on the butt. And
Exactly.
Like, what elegance is there supposed to be? Get the hell out of here.
And in terms of strategy, we've broken down the play before. There is strategy. Teams can't stop it because they try to crash the center of the line, and that's where Mailata and Landon Dickerson just sweep them to the side and Hurts sneaks by on the left. The team that stopped it twice, the Jacksonville Jaguars, did it by not crashing into the center of the line. They went straight on and stood our line up. That's the way to stop it, because then you can't stop the left side from swinging in and pushing the defender sideways.
Actual football.
Actual football. Actual strategy. So I it's so frustrating to me, but I do have to ask, Rich. I've seen some sentiment online that the Eagles should change their tactic to view this as a win, that they are so good at something that it needs to be banned, that they should reverse course and just let it get banned so that we can just move on from it instead of every offseason focusing on it.
No. This is
Fight tooth and nail to keep it?
Yeah. It works with Jalen Hurts and the current offensive line. Yeah. Why? And I don't understand. Like, it's a legal play. So what, we're going to ban all quarterback sneaks now?
I mean,
what happens if you do a designated quarterback sneak and it just so happens the running back is trying to block somebody and he inadvertently gets shoved and he ends up pushing the quarterback further? Is that not so does that mean that whole team's going to get penalized now? Oh, that's an illegal play because you helped out the quarterback in his progression moving forward in a sneak. Like, there's so many variables that doesn't make any sense. I hate the fact that this is even being discussed.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree that it should stay as is. I'm not a fan of the discussion online where they're like, oh, the Eagles should be complimented. The Eagles should back down. I do not like the idea that you're making a rule because one team can do something well.
Yeah.
And to be clear, it's not even automatic anymore. Yes, it used to be quote-unquote automatic at the famous 92-point-something success rate. It's down to like 80%. Teams are figuring out how to stop it.
There's a way to block it. Play football.
Yeah. So
have a good defensive line.
To me, it reads as sour grapes. It reads as teams are lazy and cowardly. And you know who the teams are voting against it. It's going to be our division rivals. It's going to be the Packers. It's going to be the Rams. It's every team we beat is going to try to vote against us because they've come up across this one time or another. It's just lazy. It's cowardly. And I think that it shouldn't be a discussion.
Yeah. Brought to you by the Fudge Packers.
There you go. And that is the final word on the subject.
Yes.
Because we do have other news to get to.
Yes.
More controversy, actually, in a different sport.
More controversy and the resurrection of an old segment. because we are now leaving the world of football and our regular sports segment and instead going into the world of baseball and an old segment that we haven't done in a while. We're dusting it off from the counters. It's Fluke or Gnaw time.
Old Open Specialist, John Bruno DeCenzo presents Fluke or Gnaw!
There we go, an extra breaking glass for good measure.
Because that's the energy the clip gives off. So that's right. It is time for Fluke or Gnaw, where we debate whether something...
We actually had to break the glass to get the segment open.
It's like the little emergency hammer,
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That was the actual sound from breaking it.
It was a big case and a big hammer. We needed the wind up.
Yes.
But this is the segment where we debate whether something is legitimate or whether it is a fluke or Gnaw. Rich, the topic of discussion, of course, is sweeping the baseball world with the very own Torpedo Bat controversy. The Yankees have been employing a unique bat design dubbed the Torpedo Bat. If you've seen pictures of it, it kind of bulges a little bit in the middle, like a weird...
It looks like a torpedo.
Weird, girthy torpedo monstrosity. And they start breaking home run records. I think it was like 7 home runs by one player. It was something ridiculous.
They had I think it was 15 home runs over a 3-game span.
Like, that seems like a lot.
That's
right?
a lot, yeah.
So people, casual viewers, baseball fans, like, why the heck are they hitting so many home runs? Is it this new Torpedo Bat thing? So what is the Torpedo Bat for people who might not be in the know? What exactly are the Yankees doing with their equipment?
All right, so the Torpedo Bat, basically, some MIT engineer that was working for the Yankees found out that, or at least hypothesized, that if you could get more mass behind the area that the batter makes more consistent contact with in his swings, dubbed the sweet spot, you would get more powerful hits off of the bat and therefore, more velocity, possibility of chance for more deeper balls, more deep hits, more deep home runs. And the Yankees decided to run with it, and they took a couple of their starters. They put them into like some sort of monitoring station where they could see their sweet spots. And each player has various different sweet spots depending on how they're swinging and where they're swinging at and everything like that. So the team came up with different sweet spots for these different players and then custom made the bats to have those sweet spot areas be as legally thick as they can get away with. The rule from the MLB is that the bat thickness cannot exceed 2.6 inches. That's the ruling. 2.6 inches in diameter. As long as it's smaller than that in diameter, you're good to go. So they took the sweet spot, made it as fat as they legally can, and it comes up with a torpedo shape to the bat, and that's why it's called the Torpedo Bat. And it is setting the sports world on fire because people are saying it's technology, it's the future. Some people are saying this is an unfair advantage. Everybody's got an opinion on it. It's on CNN. I went to CNN.com and this was one of their top headlines, the Torpedo Bat.
Literally, that's my research in front of me right now is the CNN article.
Yeah.
On the Torpedo Bat.
Yeah.
It is a weird thing. It really has... It's that unique situation where a sports topic broaches...
Oh, no, I lost you. Oh, no. I lost Mike. Oh, my God. I literally lost Mike completely.
Hello?
There you
I
go.
am. Oh, I sound nice and crispy.
Yeah,
What is going on?
Mike.
You literally... See that? Baseball doesn't even want me talking about baseball.
Wow, that was weird.
It's a mutual hatred.
That is interesting. All right.
I'm sounding particularly crispy on this channel, though, so let's keep me
right. There you go.
Right here.
That was so weird. That was a total mic failure.
That was bizarre.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I
awesome.
guess baseball really doesn't like you, Mike.
So this equipment isn't 15 years old. So let's get back to the torpedo bat. Yeah. So the only rule, from what I understand, is that the bat is actually pretty flexible in how you can shape it. It just says that it needs to be a smooth, round stick, no more than 2.6 inches in diameter at the thickest, and no more than 42 inches in length, and it shall be made out of solid wood. That's it. So it's 100% legal. Part of me is like frustrated at it because it seems so obvious, right? And it's like, well, are they just like guaranteed to hit better now? But then the other part of me is thinking it's just equipment, right? Think of it this way. At one point, they must have just had shoes. And then they're like, let's add spiky bits.
You're right. There should be cleats.
To get better traction. I know. Let's just go out there wearing our fedoras and what's the 19 teens. Oh, somebody got cracked inside the head. Then the next guy comes up with a helmet. Oh, well, wait a second. That guy's protected now. He doesn't have to suffer a concussion. That's not fair.
Yeah. So you're on the technology argument.
The point that I'm making is that it's literally always been part of the game to find better equipment, better tools to do the job, but somebody still has to use the tool. The person throwing the football or swinging the bat or wielding the hockey stick still has to do it effectively. You're not going to put a torpedo bat in my hands and me go break, a Babe Ruth record or something like that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that either baseball should say yes or no, it's allowed, just to shut everybody up. I think
the answer is it is
the
allowed.
answer is that it is.
The bats conform to the MLB rule books. Otherwise, it would have to be banned immediately.
Right. No, that's fair. It would have to be banned immediately. Baseball should emphasize that it is totally fine, and other teams should consider switching to them as well.
Some are.
I think the Phillies implemented a few of them.
I think
right?
Alec Boehm's swinging one.
Yeah. So I think part of the beauty of baseball, I'll compliment baseball here, is that it is the one sport where things are weirdly flexible. The fields can be whatever crazy shape and size they want to be.
Absolutely.
The gloves, they can do whatever. The balls, they can do whatever. Different stances, different ways of just... There's a lot of flexibility that you don't get in a sport like football, which is highly regimented. So in the spirit of that, why not make your tools work the best way possible? To answer the question, I don't think that this is a fluke. I think that this is science, analytics, and equipment coming together with talent to make the best out of their abilities.
I just realized. So, what is the fluke and what is the gnaw? We didn't emphasize this.
I guess is the bat contributing to the increased effectiveness, or is it just good batters or good batters? I don't think it's a fluke. I think that it is a good marriage of science, equipment, and skill, like enhancing the game.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a fluke.
Okay, so it's gnaw.
It's gnaw.
Yeah, we're trying to stick to the rules.
The bat is for real. The bat is helping them because scientifically it is engineered to work best with their unique swing and their unique way of batting. Yes. It is tailored to them. So it's not gnaw. It is looking at analytical data saying this is where you most often hit the ball, put the most mass of the bat there. That's not a fluke.
So it's gnaw.
I think it's gnaw.
Okay.
What do you think? I rambled a lot.
Honestly, so the way you phrased it, so we're taking the
because the controversy is the bat.
Controversy out of it.
The controversy is the bat.
Right. I don't think there's any controversy here.
It's legal.
It's a legal bet. It conforms to the MLB rules. If it didn't, the umpires would have had to confiscate them immediately. So, unfortunately, if you are one of those people that say this is destroying the game, sorry, you're out of luck. It's conforming to all the rules. they found it, to you it might be a loophole, but to me this sounds like technology is just moving forward and it's grabbing baseball with it.
It's about time.
Hook, line, and sinker, whether it likes it or not. In terms of the increased output, I don't know if it's as revolutionary as we've seen. The Yankees were facing the Milwaukee Brewers, who did not seem to have a good team this year, if I may say so. One of their pitchers, I think it was the second game of the series, literally threw the first 3 pitches of that second game, and the results were pitch, home run, pitch, home run, pitch, home run. That's more than just a nice bat. That's just horrible.
I don't know, maybe it's the bat.
That's horrible pitch placement, if you ask me, and a pitcher that kind of got rattled. Well, that's rough right off the bat.
Consider this: bad pitch placement against a bat that is not properly tuned might be a double, maybe a triple. But against a bat that is properly tuned, home run, home run, home run. I think that I think that it is not. I think the bat does contribute. It's been engineered to work best with their unique swing and stance and sweet spot. So if they're making contact, they're making contact, right? Like it's been engineered to help them make the best contact possible. There is still skill.
Yeah.
It is still a tool.
Terry Francona had the best quote. He says, it's still more about the player in the box than the bat in the box. And I agree with that.
They still have to use the tool correctly.
So I'm tending to err on the side of fluke.
Really?
I think the numbers will even out. We're not even a full week into the season. I think the numbers will probably even out at some point.
I think that we're not going to see games where people are ripping off 15 home runs, every couple of games. I think that there will be a small but marked increase, maybe a couple % change year over year. It's not going to make every game like a home run derby. It's not going to be that. I think there will be benefits. I think there will be an increase, but it's not going to be as dramatic as the first few games.
Yeah, I think the numbers will even out. And here's the bigger issue. I think we both agree. Sorry, it conforms within the rules.
Yeah,
they're good to go.
So you like the bat?
I mean, sure. Yeah, it's not. It's all within the rules. I don't think it's cheating. I think it's a big. And also, by the way, Aaron Judge, who had 4 of the 15 home runs during that ridiculous pace that the Yankees had, he's using a regular bat. So
maybe his sweet spot's already
programmed
at the top of the bat. No,
maybe.
I mean, maybe not everybody needs to use a special torpedo bat.
Yeah, don't fix a broken sink.
There you go.
If he's already got the swing, let him be. All right, we got to end it there. We are way over. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
we got to wrap up the sports. It was a sports dinner. I don't know how we're gonna.
We got distracted by tables and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna be able to continue, but we will. We're gonna take a quick break and then come right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We took a very quick break there because we went way over.
It's fast.
Yes, very fast. All right, so you know what? That means we need to move right along into the second topic in this meal for your mind. Folks, it's time for the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, time for the entertainment entree, and we're going to kick it off with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for with new movies and TV properties coming up this weekend in Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people?
Well, this week, just one big thing to keep an eye on in movies. A Minecraft movie comes to theaters this week. If you're wondering how they made a movie out of a sandbox video game where you have to literally mine and build everything, well, here's the synopsis. A mysterious portal pulls 4 misfits into the overworld, a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master the terrain while embarking on a magical quest with an unexpected crafter named Steve.
Oh, great.
I am not embellishing. That was the synopsis. People don't realize Steve is the main character's name in Minecraft. It's the Minecraft guy's name is Steve.
I am Steve.
Steve, yes. But if that doesn't sound particularly thrilling, there are no reviews yet at the time of recording, which is typically not a great sign for a movie set to come out in 3 days.
All right, stop this nonsense. I'm commandeering this segment. Just watch The White Lotus and get ready for the finale on Sunday. You're welcome. That's what you should do.
Wait, that wasn't the finale last week?
No, there's one more episode.
There's one more?
Yeah,
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah, that's right.
Hello? Yeah, hello, McFly.
I don't know where I am right now. That's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, there you go, Mike.
I honestly thought I thought I had watched the last episode. No, you're right, because we don't know who died yet. Oh my God. So White Lotus season 3 has been a trip.
Yes, I've loved every minute of it.
It's been getting better.
Yes.
For the first couple episodes, I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't digging it as much as I really loved season 2. I know you didn't like season 2. I really liked the interpersonal dramas in season 2 because they were more like you kind of saw all of the different tensions already coming into the situation. In this season, we had to wait a while to see those tensions build up and bubble over. But like characters were coming into season 2 with tension already there.
Yeah.
Which kind of heightened that. But season 3 is really, really coming into its own.
Yep, I've enjoyed it.
In the backstretch.
I'm going to be sad to see it leave, but I want to know what happens. So there you go. Binge watch The White Lotus and get ready for the season finale.
Forget Minecraft.
On Sunday.
White Lotus.
There you go.
The other thing that you could do in entertainment...
By the way, I don't just to make you feel all right about that.
Okay.
There was, Daisy Jones and the Six on Prime. And it had like a weekly schedule, but I didn't know that when I tuned in.
Right.
I just thought it was it was just one of those things where they released all the episodes at once.
Oh, so you just watched whatever was out, and you're like, oh, that's a weird way to...
So I watched like 1 through 6 episodes. I think episodes 1 through 6, and it ended on 6. And like the main singer is randomly like, I think I'm gonna go visit China, and like that's it. That's how the episode ends, and I'm like, that's a weird way to end this show. What the hell is Amazon doing?
You're like, oh, so season 2 is China. Cool. And then he stopped watching.
I did. I stopped watching. I thought that was it.
Did you eventually go back?
And then I saw a news bulletin that was episode 7 got released, and I'm like, oh.
You're like, wait a second, that makes way more sense now.
Yeah, I totally missed the boat on that one.
You know what it is?
So you're fine, Mike. I've done that before.
I've been catching up with a lot of shows. I've been binge watching Cobra Kai, Mythic Quest, watching White Lotus. So I'm confused. What shows have ended and what shows have not ended?
Yeah, so that's fair, Mike. I've done that before.
I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to stay up to date. Another thing where we need to stay up to date, though, is MCU casting. Last week we talked about Elizabeth Olsen, and of course, just to kick us, the very next day, Marvel announces the full cast lineup for Avengers Doomsday. It always happens that way. We talk about a story, and then they're like, haha, here's the actual news.
Yeah, 4 hours after we release the latest episode, yeah. It happens.
But we do have all the details here. We're going to talk about who's in it, who's not in it, and some of the
And Mikey has a graph for it.
I have graphs. They are beautiful. Just wait. So first up, the big, very obvious thing with the cast lineup is the Fox deal is finally coming through. This is the official grand welcoming of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men into Disney's MCU. 12 of the 27 main cast members are from those two properties, and we have that up on screen right now. If you have the video feed, you can see here that a large portion of the cast, Fantastic Four and X-Men. This is so absolutely exciting for somebody like me who loved those original X-Men movies. They are bringing back almost all of the major characters from those original X-Men movies. We got Beast coming back. We have Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. We have Ian McKellen as Magneto, and I realized that I swapped those names around in that graph. We have Cyclops, James Marsden. We have Rebecca Romijn playing Mystique, Alan Cumming playing Nightcrawler, and of course Channing Tatum returning as Gambit, which is the odd one out there. He wasn't one of the originals. But most of these individuals have not played their character in potentially decades, right? So other than some cameos here and there, characters like Magneto and Mystique and Nightcrawler especially haven't been in a Marvel movie since the early 2000s, and they got them all back, and I'm super interested to see how they weave all these characters into the MCU. And of course, joining them, the other big Fox property, the Fantastic Four, with the new cast there, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Eben Moss Bachrach as Ben Grimm the Thing, and Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm the Human Torch, and of course, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. So there you have a huge chunk of characters completely new to the MCU, first time in the MCU for the majority of them. Rich, what do you think? Is this
this is very Cobra Kai-ish of MCU that they were able to find all these actors and bring them back.
As I was going through this and pulling up their last appearances, I was like, wow, you haven't seen these characters in decades.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you followed the original X-Men movie, but for someone, I don't know if you followed it or not, but is this something that makes you more or less excited for this movie?
I'm intrigued. That's the better phrasing.
So it's caught your eye.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on here?
Right. I'm interested to see where this goes.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm getting my hopes up yet.
Oh,
because
okay.
Right. The MCU has been misfiring recently.
This is a lot of work to do. So while this makes me excited to bring in this many characters who have never appeared in the MCU before. And keep that in mind, right? Beast had a cameo, Professor X had a cameo, but they were throwaway bits, right?
Yeah, you could have just written them off.
To bring in these characters and ask fans to juggle essentially 7 brand new characters with the rest of the cast, this is going to be a tall task. I think it's going to be a significant portion of the movie is just focusing on the X-Men. If you're going into this movie thinking you're going to see Captain America and Spider-Man and Iron Man and all the original Avengers come back and save the day, I think you are sorely mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think it's that kind of movie, no.
I think this cast list reveals it. Like I said, 12 of the 27 are coming from those Fox properties. 13 out of the 27, almost half, are making their first appearance in an MCU movie just in the past year or two. I mean, these are all characters that have been introduced in 2024 or later. So these are all brand new. This is a fully new era. We're getting very little in the way of returning characters, right?
Yeah.
If we look at the existing MCU characters to see who's actually coming back,
yes, folks, he has another graph.
I have multiple graphs. It was, and I repeat in no uncertain terms, a slow day. So the most interesting thing to me, again, look at the returning characters. Who do we see here as original quote-unquote Avengers? Thor, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Bucky Barnes and Ant-Man. And then you have Shuri as Black Panther. And that's basically it.
Well, Loki. You got Loki, too.
Loki.
He's a fan favorite.
He is a fan favorite. He wasn't an Avenger. He was a villain.
Big draw.
Big draw, yes. But in terms of returning characters, I mean, looking at this list, Rich, what's your read here? This is a movie for a new era of MCU. This is completely different than anything that we know. The other big change that you'll see here is the big presence of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
The new team up coming out this year, featuring characters like Ghost, Yelena Belova, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, who's the evil Captain America, as I put it in the graph. So you're seeing new teams.
I feel like they're trying to force that Thunderbolts movie. Like, you better watch it.
It's Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So it has potential to be fun, to be good, but it's an unproven entity. So when you take the two lists together, you have three teams, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, that are complete unknowns in the MCU world as of right now. I think that's really exciting, but also really risky.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a risk. I don't know.
Do you think that the risk could pay off, though?
It could.
I mean,
but it really...
high risk, high reward.
First, I hate to say it's really going to rely on Thunderbolts. If Thunderbolts comes out and it's a dud, that's gonna be a rocky start to this movie.
My concern, the weak point here for me, is the Thunderbolts as well. A lot of these characters introduced in Black Widow or in Falcon and Winter Soldier, two properties I wasn't the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, like a full fifth of this cast is going to be this team, part of me is like, okay, I appreciate trying to do something different, but I'm also worried that because I don't really care about these characters.
Kind of like what you said, like this is being split into like 5 teams.
Yes.
It has me worried that
are they doing too much?
It has me worried that there's a lot of risky factors with 3 of the teams. And then the team that I would be the most interested in, like Loki, even Kung Fu fighter.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. I was about to say Shang-Chung from Mortal Kombat. I've been playing too much Mortal Kombat at Fun Dungeon.
Yeah.
Those are the movies I really got into, and they're only 2 people, as opposed to the teams that are coming in. So that has me a little worried.
Yeah, definitely. I do think it's interesting, since you brought up Shang-Chi and Loki, those are the only 2 that are kind of rogue agents in all this. So if you flip back to the chart there, you see we have a contingency from Black Panther, we have a group of Avengers or Avengers-associated people, and we have the Thunderbolts. And then you randomly have Shang-Chi and Loki just hanging out, bopping around, doing their thing. We have Shang-Chi without any other mystical characters.
Wait a minute.
No. If your question is, what's your question?
Yeah. Where's, what's his name?
Doctor Strange.
Where's Doctor Strange?
So this brings me to the other big topic, the big characters missing in action. There's a long list of them. Buckle up, because there's quite a few, and I don't think you realize just how many people are missing. Firstly, Nick Fury. This is an Avengers movie. Where is Nick Fury? Second, Captain Marvel. Remember all the focus on Captain Marvel between Captain Marvel, the Marvels, Spider-Man, completely absent. He's one of only a few characters who have direct involvement with multiversal events. The other character is Doctor Strange, also completely absent. The two characters that had the most involvement with multiversal shenanigans, not involved at all. Guardians of the Galaxy, completely omitted. Deadpool and Wolverine, after just being introduced, nowhere to be seen. That doesn't surprise me too much, but the addition of all the X-Men minus Wolverine and Deadpool is a little odd to me, especially since those two characters are traditionally like big focal points for X-Men and X-Men associated properties. And then, of course, Scarlet Witch. We knew she wouldn't be in it, but what do you think about this list of missing in action characters?
Those are some big names.
Head scratchers, right?
Yeah. I'm more. Do you have a reason for this, or
no clue?
Oh, I don't like the sound of this.
I have no clue. When you really think back and try to remember the characters who were involved with multiversal shenanigans, it's like Loki, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all had goings-ons with the multiverse. 2 out of the 3 are non-present.
Is this movie supposed to be happening like maybe in concurrency with those movies? Like, is it all happening at the same time or something?
Like, my only thinking is that something either happens immediately to break the multiverse and bring these people in, or we are going to be watching 2 separate timelines, 2 separate universes, and the end of the movie is the cataclysm that brings them together.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how you have a multiversal project and not have Doctor Strange and his whole sect of warrior monk people and, you know, anything related to that. It seemed like such a big focal point for the multiverse. His second movie was Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Very clearly outlining this is how the multiverse works. This is how you traverse it. This is what happens when you mess up the multiverse. Then again, in Deadpool and Wolverine, you saw the same thing. Spider-Man, you saw the same thing. Those characters nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
So everybody who's had direct involvement in it. So that leads me to believe, like, maybe whatever the cataclysm is, maybe there's no cataclysm. Whatever happens hasn't happened yet in Doomsday event, in Avengers Doomsday. What do you think?
I mean, that could be a good theory that maybe this is like the Infinity War part. Because isn't this being shot back to back with...
This is going to be an Infinity War Endgame situation.
Yeah.
With the movie in 2027 being Avengers Secret Wars, which is the event in Marvel Comics where you have Battle World, where you have all these heroes from different timelines come together in one location to fight basically a battle royale to the death. So that's why I'm thinking that this movie, Doomsday, is going to end with the proverbial snap of the multiverse. Right. That's the only way that it makes sense. And I think we might be seeing concurrent timelines. We might be seeing, you know, the Avengers, Black Panther, Shang-Chi timeline. Shang-Chi's like, oh, my 10 rings are picking up something weird, and the Black Panther people are going to be like, oh, no, you guys need to come to Wakanda because we have the technology. The Avengers, I honestly don't know what the Avengers are doing.
They're just sitting on their ass.
No, but literally, what is Bucky Barnes? Bucky Barnes is not a time-traveling multiversal hero. He's just a guy with a gun arm. I'm just going to say, I've never saw the appeal.
Look at my gun arm.
Thor, I don't know why Thor is still here.
Yeah, doesn't he have wonderful worlds with like goddesses to go to?
I literally don't understand why he's still here. He's the only original Avenger who's still like, yeah, like
we can't really kill him off, so
I guess.
There you go. Look at him without a shirt on.
Yeah. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did want to mention is my disappointment in the lack of TV series characters. I know we got to start wrapping up the segment, but I did want to mention they were completely ignored. Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Hulk, Hawkeye, Daredevil, Agatha and all her buddies, Miss Marvel, Echo, Ironheart. Why even bother? Like, legitimately, MCU, Marvel, Disney, fans, why?
It's a shame. I really liked Moon Knight. I thought he was going to come back for this.
I thought a lot of these TV shows were really, I know people didn't like She-Hulk. I found it enjoyable. I thought Miss Marvel was a lot of fun. Agatha All Along was great. I know people really like Hawkeye and Echo and Daredevil. So, like, why not even just one of them? It's just nobody.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
Loki and nobody else. That's it.
Yeah, it was
That's all they pulled from the TV show.
Yeah, and I think the only reason Loki made the cut is because he had existing history dealing with magical stuff and in the original Avengers movies. But these other ones, they're just like, honestly, I'm gonna say it. It's gonna suck. Just kill them all. No, listen.
Kill them all.
We went through 27 characters.
He has a graph.
We went through 27 characters, and I listed another like 12 that aren't in it, and even more that weren't even thought of. You need to trim the fat. We don't need Hulk and She-Hulk anymore. We don't need Thor anymore. We never needed Moon Knight. He's cool, but he's done absolutely nothing for the Marvel lore. You don't need all these characters. You just don't need them. It's just so bizarre to me, personally.
All right. Well, there you go. We have to end it on that note. Thank you, Mike, for the graphs and the charts and everything.
I tried. It sounds like I was down on it, but I am legitimately super excited for Avengers Doomsday. I'm excited to see how they bring in those extra characters, how they make it all work. It could be a big risk, like you said, but I'm still excited.
Well, speaking of a big risk, that's usually what the perpetrators usually embark on in our final segment, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meet tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird, wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths, and I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Back to good old Florida. What the heck is going on?
All right. Well, in this story, man, we've got the case of 38-year-old Joseph Luke Brown and 46-year-old Stephanie K. Wegman.
Okay. Oh, Wegman of the Wegmans grocery store.
I don't think so, but that is a shared namesake here. Both of these Floridians live in separate residences in Webster, which is outside of Sumter County. According to a Florida Highway Patrol report, officers said that on Wednesday afternoon, they spotted a white Nissan that was parked illegally in front of the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery. And when that is the real name of the cemetery.
What?
It is the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery.
Wild Cow
Prairie.
Like a cow, like a moo.
Yes.
Like are they burying cows there?
No, they're burying people there.
What? Okay. Continue. Sorry.
The Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery. Cops saw that the white Nissan was parked illegally, so they went into the cemetery, and that is when they found Wegman and Luke deciding to have intercourse on the gravestones.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Oh, yeah. Nothing turns me on than a bright day in a cemetery.
Oh, boy. Look at them tombstones. Woo! Hot diggity.
Something else is hard.
Oh, man.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
And don't you poo-poo the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery, Mike.
I would never dream of it.
Because the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery actually has historical references. They have graves dating back to 1850, and it was marked as a place to be added in the National Register of Historic Places.
Yeah, except it's next to a swamp and an interstate.
Stop it, Mike. Don't you poo-poo the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery.
The sign has a cow on it. I can't.
It's called Wild Cow
Prairie. You go to visit your dearly departed, and you drive up, and the sign is just a freaking cow. Moo. Also, I'm not even sure how you get to it. It is literally off the interstate, and it's next to a lake. Like the lake
you
is
have
like
to take a boat.
You have to take a boat.
Oh wait, no, that doesn't. No, they said they got there on a white Nissan.
I
so
mean,
there has to be a road somewhere.
I mean, I guess there's access from the road. I'm looking on Google
Or
Maps.
the white Nissan was a boat too. It was like a James Bond boat that.
Rich, I am looking on Google. Oh wait, there you go. That's how you get in. It's like all in the woods. Like, what is this place? I can see why they would think it's a good place to. It's like if you go on Google Maps, it's wooded. It's by an interstate. There's a lake there. You're like surrounded on three sides.
It's got everything.
It's got everything you can possibly want. It's got fast cars. It's got the nature. It's got a lake.
It's got tombstones.
I don't know why I did that voice.
That's a yes.
That was actual audio from the from the performance.
Apparently. But did you know there's a very good reason why these people thought that they could do that where they did it? Because Webster only has a population of 900 people. So it's not a very built up area.
Well, look, it doesn't. Like they're getting to work. They're trying to procreate in the graveyard. They're trying to get to work.
Trying to up those population numbers.
Yeah, all right. So stop it, Mike. Let them be.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
So in the police report, it notes that both Wegman and Brown were, quote, engaged in sexual activity on top of unknown grave number 43.
Wow. How could they do that to unknown grave number 43?
That was the one. That was the special one, man.
Jeez.
That got him going.
Poor number 43.
That got the juices flowing, number 43.
Something about that number.
Yeah. Cops also did a search of the Nissan vehicle and discovered that there was meth in the car, so that's not good.
That makes sense.
And there was also 2 prescription bottles of Xanax and oxycodone. So they were definitely definitely had some drugs on them and in their possession.
I'm on drugs again.
Here's another interesting kicker here. Wegman is married.
Okay.
But not to Brown.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, this story outed her as cheating on her husband.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops. Sorry, honey.
Ooh. And in a graveyard, too.
Yeah. Must have been really desperate to have some fun. Woo. And another kicker here for you, Mike. So when the cops confronted the pair, they were able to take Wegman in right away. But Brown was startled on the tombstone and fell off the tombstone and suffered an injury. He had to be taken to the hospital to examine his leg.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no!
I'm calling it a flop. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, I
was startled so bad. He's like, oh, my God. Oh, no.
There you go.
That's the audio.
That's the correct audio. Yeah.
The cops are able to catch that audio.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you're like really like getting into it and then you slip on the gravestone and you fall awkwardly, maybe.
So
I could see that happening.
So hold on, wait. Was this one of the? So just for clarification, was this one of those gravestones that's like flush with the ground, or was this like an actual like headstone?
I think this was a headstone.
So
they're banging on it.
So well, I didn't know if they were laying down on the one that's on the ground or if they were like propped up on the one that's upright.
I think it had to be upright because it seems he fell or he tripped or something.
He fell or tripped. Okay, I don't know. But the other person was like they weren't caught off guard at all.
Yeah, she was fine. Wegman's fine. She's
totally fine. She was like expecting them to show up.
Yeah, or something.
But this guy though, he was
he was startled.
Scared the bejesus out of him.
Yeah, so much so he did something to his leg. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, he had to be taken to a local hospital to check out the injury to his leg. Troopers noted that after he is discharged, he will have a warrant out for his arrest. Though it is not mentioned in the police report what charges he will face. However, the car belonged to Wegman, so apparently she's going to get the full brunt of the charges. She is going to get charged with, let's see here. I just had it and I lost it. And various drug paraphernalia charges. She also has an extensive criminal history, including convictions for burglary, grand larceny, battery, domestic violence, larceny, and reckless driving.
Oh, man.
So she's
got a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah. Maybe it was one of those cases where we need to get her. We really need to get this.
She's the actual criminal right there.
Yeah, we know she is up to no good.
Right.
The guy, all right, he fell. He might have hurt his leg. All right, we feel sorry for him. Just get him to a hospital.
She's the hardened criminal.
She's got a track record. We need to. You're coming with us now. I don't care what you do.
You do whatever.
Yeah. She is in the county jail, and as of the most recent update, Brown was still in the hospital. So maybe he did something serious to his leg. Maybe he might have fractured it or something.
I mean, I guess if he's still in the hospital, it's legit. But I just can't imagine that he was that startled that he smashes his leg and shatters it. Like, I don't know.
Mike, maybe this is a very innocent young man.
You said he was 40. What was it, 46?
No, it's the woman.
Oh, the woman is 40-something.
Stephanie K. Wegman is 46. Luke is 38.
Is that young?
I mean, maybe he's naive.
Maybe he's naive at 38?
You know.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, he doesn't have the criminal record. Maybe he just wanted to have a little bit of fun.
He's just going to have a little bit of fun. I just don't understand the cemetery on the side of the interstate.
What? That doesn't pump your blood?
Next to a swamp. No, none of those things.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
I can't say that any of those things sound very appealing.
Not even that it was bright sunny day in the afternoon.
That's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
I hate the sun in Florida. It's like,
oh yeah, it's got to be baking your skin.
And I'm telling you, it's right. If you go to Google Maps, it's right next to like a little lake area. Like there's gonna be mosquitoes. There's gonna be crocodiles. There's gonna be snakes. Or is it alligators? Alligators. One of those two things are gonna come up and bite you. Snakes, mosquitoes, iguanas, crocodilians. Just a whole cavalcade of horrors coming out of the water there. Not good.
All right.
And then the interstate, you got cars flying by. And then Grave 43.
So you have no mercy on the dude.
I mean, I guess I feel bad that he injured his leg, but I just think they're both imbeciles.
Well,
I had to do it in the cow cemetery.
That's really what gets you off is the name of the cemetery.
The two most interesting things to me is the fact that this took place in a town that has a population of like 800 people.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere. I looked them up on Google Maps. Like 4 tractor stores. Only 3 restaurants that I could find. When tractor stores outnumber restaurants, you are in trouble and you need to find a new town to live in. The other thing that amazed
Billy
me,
Bob. I got my tractor store right here.
There's like a weird number of flea markets and tractor stores.
I'm Johnny Booth. I got my tractor store over here.
It's amazing, dude. You got to look it up. There was a garden center called
I'm Mike David. I got my tractor store over there.
There's a garden store called the Dirty Hoe.
Whoa, I'm the Dirty Hoe. I got my tractor and so what did you say my store was again? I forgot. I forgot what it sells.
Yeah, you work at the Dirty Hoe,
Dirty
sir.
Hoe. I forget exactly what I sell. I'm over at this tractor store.
Do you just work at all of them along the road? You just go from one to the next?
There's 4 of them.
There seem like a lot of them. The other thing that amazes me is the cow cemetery.
Yeah.
I want there to be cows buried there. Why do you call it a cow? I don't understand why you call it a cow cemetery.
Maybe the very first burial was a cow.
I think that should only be cows.
Well,
I think Grave 43 was Bessie.
We'll never know. They're all unknown Grave 43 or whatever, unknown grave number. So we don't know.
I think it's a cow. I think they had sex on a cow.
Well,
in a roundabout sort of way. Think about it.
Talk about getting your T-bone.
You got a real good look at a steak by sticking your head up a butcher's ass. No, wait. Or is it the cow's ass?
Yeah. Tommy boy.
I think I messed up the messed up joke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, when we're messing up jokes that are supposed to be messed up and they still don't sound right,
It's
I think
double mess up.
I think that's a sign we need to start wrapping up the show because we definitely went a little bit over, but it was all worth it. Mikey had prepared so many graphs.
It was, hey man, I try to bring a quality product here to the Crispy Noodle podcast.
Yeah, it was necessary. I totally forgot. I actually had their mug shot. So there you go.
Oh, you didn't even put up the
I totally
mugshot.
forgot about. You had me off on the cemetery and stuff. There's their mug shot. So there you go.
Yeah, she looks like a hardened criminal.
There you go.
He just looks like a dopey guy.
Yeah. I let him be. Let him take his
let
time.
him be. Yeah.
Take
Go
his
back
time.
to the Dirty Hoe.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. That's what we have for you this week on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on social media. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get every episode sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First one is on our YouTube page. Go to Crispy Noodle Podcast and hit the subscribe button so that you get the podcast sent to your YouTube account every week. Second main way to do it is on Spotify. We put the video podcast up on Spotify, and you can listen to us there. But you can also put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And if you have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go with you using Spotify. So if you're driving to the Cow Prairie Cemetery for some hijinks and fun, you can take us on the go with you and enjoy the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us on Blue Sky. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on Blue Sky and let us know what's happening. But for right now, we have to wrap this up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. All right, Mike. We're graphed out. We're tabled out. That's it.
Too many graphs.
Yeah, we are done. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.